Among the resolutions many of us make each year is getting ourselves financially fit. No more flabby savings or bulging credit debt. This is the year many of us are going to get our financial house in order. And the man who's going to help us do it is here, Jeffrey Schwartz, Executive Director for Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. Jeffrey, let's jump right in. Start with your 5 tips here. Talk to the person who has little savings, who lives more or less paycheck to paycheck, and someone whose credit card typically rides close to its limit.
Well, one of the things that we talk about to people at Consolidated is really, if you're in some sort of bind, put your credit cards on ice. Stop using your credit cards, focus in on using only cash or your debit card. And that's really going to help you from stopping yourself from digging deeper into the hole. The next thing we talk about really is to set a resolution, set a goal, pay off your debt. Try and find a way to pay off your debt. And the way we start is really assess your current financial situation. Try and look at where you are, do a budget, take a snapshot of where you are. And within that budget, when you're setting it up, try and look for ideas or alternatives to cut back and create a surplus at the end of each month that you can apply to that debt. And then once you've found those little areas where you can cut back and you've created that surplus, stick to your plan, be merciless with it until it's complete, until you've paid off your debt.
All right, let's quickly go through these 5. These are very important tips. This is from an expert. Stop using your credit cards. Use cash or your debit card. Number 2, resolution. Pay off your debt. Number 3, assess your current financial situation. Make up a budget. Very important. Create a surplus each month in your budget. And finally, stick to your plan until it's complete. Jeffrey, where does paying yourself first fit into this?
Well, it fits actually right in the surplus area. I mean, you want to create a little bit of a buffer in there so that if something happens, or if you want to put some savings away, or if you want to save for a holiday, try and make that little portion invisible. Maybe do it through a pre-authorized deduction from your paycheck just so you don't see it, and then stick it aside, have it grow in a savings account, and then when you need those funds for whatever reason, they're available for you.
See, I just don't think, if I can just deviate a little bit here, I just don't think that that should be considered a surplus. That is the money that you're paying yourself, and I think that that should come right off the top, 10% at the very least, 10% every time you get something coming in. 10% automatically goes right off the top into your savings account, not to be touched. You know exactly how much is going to be in your savings account at all times. And if you've got it in your savings account, it's a lot easier to borrow from yourself. You've probably got much easier rates if you're borrowing from yourself than if you have to go to a relative, or even worse, if you have to go to a bank, right?
I don't disagree. And if you can make that invisible, that's an easy way to do it. And like you said, take it right off the top before anything else happens. And then you'll find a way to live with what you've got left.
Right, an automatic transfer, for instance, from your checking to your savings, every paycheck just goes in. What about financial programs such as Quicken or the Microsoft Money program that unfortunately has been discontinued over the past year, but financial programs like Quicken, do they do a good job for folks?
You know what, they're an excellent entry point for people to start understanding how to manage their money. They're easy to use. You can set them up in such a way that it will show what you need to see around how you're managing your money, where your money's coming from, where it's going. Yeah, it's an excellent opportunity. I'm in full support of those.
So for someone sitting here at home watching this today, they are in that situation where they don't have a budget, they don't have savings, and they do have a lot of credit card debt, and they're feeling very despondent. What's their first step? What's the first action they can take this morning?
Well, one of the things that we want to say is, well, what's your goal at this point? I mean, is your goal to get out of debt? Is your goal, maybe let's make it a simple goal, like to pay off your holiday debt? A lot of us have spent a lot over the holidays, well, and now that we've dug ourselves deeper into a hole, set a small goal, something that's attainable, something that you can really see some progress, and try and go after that. And then the next step is really to track how you're doing with that. Be merciless, try and find ways to achieve your goal, and then a little at a time, like you said, take 10% off the top to try and achieve that goal, but make that goal realistic. It shouldn't be a dream. It shouldn't be something that's going to take you 10 years to accomplish, maybe a few months, and then start to feel the self-confidence about being able to accomplish these goals, and you'll be in a much better mindset to try and tackle bigger things.
Our goal is to have you back to talk more about this. Jeffrey Schwartz, Executive Director, Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. Great talking to you. Happy New Year to you, Jeff.
And the same to you.